Okay, we have another No Rest for the Wicked video. Again, IGN first. That's fine. They're getting interviews, fair. But I think I'm gonna have some quality analysis and yap to add to this that I think people will find entertaining. Now, already I see more Dark Souls than Diablo. I've always liked my top down isometric or quote unquote ARPGs to be more measured than what I think Asmongold said when he was reviewing this video. Meat grinders with AoE spam. I never enjoyed that. I thought it felt much too casual for my tastes. I wanted things to have impact and for them to have grand consequences in the moment to moment. And, well, we don't see that as much anymore with modern Diablo style ARPGs, no. But I grew up with a game called Champions of Norath and the sequel, Champions Return to Arms. They were made by Snowblind Studios off of the EverQuest lore and similar styles of abilities transformed into that top-down action RPG style. That was back in 2002 and 2004, and they were both PlayStation 2 greatest hits, and my god, did I put thousands of hours into them. I analyzed them and became top quality in them, enough to say that a lot of the guides online are just quote-unquote guides. They're so bad. They don't have good information at all. There is quite a bit of depth to the gameplay in that, and it is fantastic. So, this style of more measured, interesting, I guess more Dark Souls type combat on a top-down or isometric or ARPG, whatever you want to call it, style of action RPG, I'm all for it. I love it. So this is super hype for me. It definitely resolves a lot of the Elden Ring large boss camera issues by default. So very excited. I've already seen the primary video, but this video includes some interview bits, so let's get into it.
No Rest for the Wicked sees Ori developer Moon Studios building an action RPG for the very first time. But despite its familiar isometric perspective, the project is very different from popular ARPGs like Diablo and Path of Exile. Combat in No Rest for the Wicked is deliberate and tactical, and every swing of the sword counts. In short, if you like the nail-biting...
It's we don't need to say every swing of the sword counts, because it's not going to. There are some bits that are forgiving, and not everything's going to one-shot you and stuff like that, but more deliberate is absolutely true. Absolutely true. And I tend to look at a lot of mechanical games, which I mean, I guess every RPG is more mechanical, I suppose, than like a very simple walking simulator or what have you, but I play these games to get to the heart of the mechanics. That way, once I've climbed that mountain, I can go however down the slope I want to get the best view that fits my tastes. What that means is, I don't know what my favorite thing is until I've fully experienced the depth of everything in the game. And this is why I have gone and analyzed combat in so many different of my favorite RPGs. And I will do the same for this, as I've done the same for, well, most recently in the action RPG scenes, Elden Ring. I've made quite a bit of analysis there that I, quite frankly, haven't been uploading, which I should. But it's just gone and changed the way that I look at certain types of weapons in these games. I, ever since Elden Ring, have been much more appreciative of these giant-ass weapons that are pervasive throughout a lot of the genre, especially in Monster Hunter. It's opened up my tastes to that style of weapon. And That's huge. That's completely changed and added a new depth and scope to how I enjoy these games. Never would have happened if I didn't get deep into the heart of these games. I get into the heart of them because I like to play them. Simple as that. Simple as that. And I will do the same for this one. And it turns out that there might be an easier aspect to this game. If there is an easy aspect, that's going to be simple. If it's not as mechanically optimal, I don't give a shit. If people are going to default to what's easy rather than to see what's best, I don't care what the opinion is. I don't give a shit. Because ultimately, they're settling. Like, a huge percentage of those people are settling for something that they might enjoy less. Because it's simple. And that might be the case. And the every swing counts might actually be wrong. Because there's some mildly effective but easy strategy that people can do in the game. But I swear to you, most people aren't going to find that satisfying. And that there's somewhere further up the proverbial mountain of difficulty, yet effectiveness, that people are probably going to enjoy more. And that's what I'm going to try to find out. And my own personal viewpoint will be solved only once I have actually experienced the true depth and climbed the true heights of this proverbial mountain of gameplay analysis, combat analysis. And it should be helpful to anybody whose personal view, whose personal taste lies somewhere else on the mountain. Doesn't matter, because I will be seeing all of it as I rise to the top. That's my game philosophy. As far as like the foundation observation that it's based off of, it's just absolutely true. Most people will stick to extremely basic yet effective things. And you see this a lot with Elden Ring. People will run very, very simple stuff. Very simple stuff. The amount of people that I've seen running Moonveil Lusats, the amount of people that I've seen running Bloodhound's Fang, a two-handed Uchi Katana, just those simple things, maybe just like a big weapon with a bonk. Way, way too simple. Way too simple. In Elden Ring, there is much, much more depth than just running a single thing for the whole game. And the people doing that probably aren't having the most fun that they could have. And it's a damn, damn shame. Me personally, seeing that. I cringe every time I see that. I'm like, yeah, you're having a great taste of that vanilla ice cream from an ice cream shop that specifically specializes in different flavors. And mixing and matching and doing this and that. And it's like, please experiment, please, please. But I could be the one to do that for people, so we'll see.
Experience of Dark Souls boss battles, then it looks like Moon Studios may be making your next favourite game. To learn more about No Rest for the Wicked's deep battle systems, we spoke to two of its developers, who gave us a deep dive on their ambitions for combat and the ideas behind the game's first terrifying boss.
The major goal for our combat was to make it feel super visceral, right? And to make sure that we create a combat system where animations also really matter. When you press a button, then you get really satisfying swings and so on. It doesn't turn into spam,
yeah,
right?
huge chunking, by the way. Huge chunking. From that move, I love the chunking.
Button, then you get really satisfying.
The strategy, there's the approaching option. You get an opening, but it's at a range. You can really space out bosses or enemies and just deal nasty damage. Nasty damage.
On doesn't turn into spam,
I like that.
Right? We wanted it to feel very visceral and tactical.
It's about making it feel.
And again, visceral, tactical. There's a ton of mistakes that this character, whoever is controlling this character in the gameplay reveal, is making during the boss. Like the amount of damage that they take unnecessarily so. And you still get through it. So there are mistakes that can be made. There are definitely some swings that aren't going to matter. Not every swing is going to matter, and that's fine. because people got to learn the game. People got to have room to experiment, and that's fair. That's good. That's good game design. That's simple as that. But yeah, hopefully the game will have a strong incentivized path to climb that proverbial mountain again for everybody, even the casual players, so that they can find their perfect spot and have the most fun that they could potentially have. We want a beautiful vista on top of a mountain and not a bunch of people in their own unique pitfalls.
Personal, a bit closer, a bit more focused. So it's not this overflow of sensory information where you just cannot really tell what's going on screen, but you actually feel every single action of your character. It's up close, it's focused, it's not 20 enemies on screen all against you, it's encounter after...
Oh my god, thank you. Not 20 enemies on screen? Oh. A, we're not getting the Dark Souls 2 style level design. Cool. B, we're not getting this sort of just random pixels on the screen type effects and type encounter design that we might have in a modern Diablo. Or even a Last Epoch. Shit all looks the same to me, man.
The encounter, and every single move matters.
Yeah, no, every single move is not going to matter. Every single move could matter, but it doesn't. And again, that's fine, because that's good game design. We need room to learn. We need room to experiment. That's fine. And this is such a weird talking point. It's obviously not true.
Of the top-down ARPGs,
It's just say it's more measured and more tactical, because it's true. Those things are true.
Very similarly, and that's where we said, hey, we should probably take a different direction. And we were more inspired not by Diablo in terms of the combat, but by Souls and Monster Hunter and so on. We definitely also took influence from fighting games, right? We always liked the whole thing where you could do combos like light punch, fierce kick, Hadouken, right? So we wanted to kind of infuse that a little bit. We wanted to do things like, hey, I can do combo A, combo B, and then do a special attack, right? And then do combo C and so on.
Top of that, we also have these runes that provide you these specials which are different for every weapon, and those are these really crazy moves that we can now do because we have a top-down camera perspective that we...
I like that a lot. So they're using the camera angle to basically take more advantage of A, the actual animations and visuals, but B, the quote-unquote specials, or the runes, or the Ashes of War type system that we're going to have in the game. Very, very good. Making the most of what you got. Good game design.
We couldn't do probably in a third-person view.
Blood-Rusted Sword is one of the straight swords that we have, right? But yours could be a fire-enchanted one that gives you more focus for every hit that you deal. Or the other guy could have a cursed Blood-Rusted Sword that deals more damage, but you also take more damage and so on.
As with all action RPGs, Battle in No Rest for the Wicked isn't just a case of hammering the attack button. There's multiple character elements to take into account.
Okay. What that guy said there, I love. And I hope there's a good deal of that on like gear or like relics or what have you. Runes, what have you, shields maybe. Secondary benefits are king in a good game-designed RPG, okay? A well-designed RPG, good game design, whatever. A well-designed RPG, secondary, tertiary benefits are king, man. Not just damage, not just armor, but what other simple yet interesting spice have we added on to the meat and potatoes of this game? That's what's going to be the difference maker. And to recognize this and to actively, in an initial interview, talk about it and put it up front, I have high hopes for the game.
Duration at all times, including health, your magic resource, and stamina.
When we came up with the boss fight, the idea is that it shouldn't feel like you're just running around and spamming all the time, but it's more strategic and tactical. And that is where the stamina system comes in.
Very tactical that way, right? Where you actually have to consider, hey, will I deal that hit still? And do I then have enough stamina if the enemy counters that I can actually dodge away from that next hit and so on?
It's more measured. It's classic.
You wanted to come up with something where, well, you don't have this resource that just depletes and then you need to drink a potion to fill it back up again, right? We wanted that to be more dynamic. So our focus kind of like increases as you play better in combat, right? Like you get focused. And that's the resource that you use to actually perform these rune specials.
I like that because it's in a sense a cool little mana bar. But it's also something that rewards proactive gameplay. Being proactive. I love that. Being proactive. I cannot for the life of me, I just cannot describe the joy of going from a Dark Turtle build, despite its great versatility in Dark Souls 3. You've got your Dark Infused Lothric Knight sword with your Black Knight shield, just turtled the fuck up, blocking everything, punishing with a backstab all the time, following up with a charge there too. All sorts of very simple classic strategies, but are extremely reactive. Going from that to the stance damage domination of Elden Ring, being proactive, being on the front foot, having Ashes of War and skills that allow me to knock enemies all the time into the air or on the ground. I'm talking Waves of Destruction with the Ruins Greatsword. I'm talking Lion's Claw, Giant Hunt. These sorts of things where you get to put big stance damage on an enemy but also set them up for a follow-up attack, which again could put big damage and big stance damage on the enemy or boss, which could break the stance, and then you have a big opportunity for attack. You take the visceral, or you deal big damage to the enemy's recovering. Again, that's another opportunity for big damage, a big attack. The proactive strategies. Big difference in satisfaction. Big difference in the feeling of domination. The feeling of being rewarded for one's own skill, not only in build making, but in the execution of the fight. Top-notch difference right there. And I'm not exactly a Dark Turtle main in Dark Souls 3. I was always a Pyro guy. Always Pyro guy. And you could dabble with Pyro stuff with Dark Turtle. There's that Inted Faith requirement there. For a lot of dark stuff, you go 30-30 there, but 40-40 for Pyro build, that's fair. But I mean, getting like Demon Scar relatively early, I did that on one playthrough. What I would do is get up to level 60 or 70, go into Ashes of Ariandel, and I actually beat Sister Frida at that level, It's not like a soul level 1 type of accomplishment, but that still stressed me the hell out. That was fun. That was amazing accomplishment. And then at around rune level, soul level like 75, beating Demon Princess. Whew. Oh man, Demon Princess for that Demon Scar. Going through the entirety of the mid and late game with the Demon Scar. Being proactive, even if just with casting or just being aggressive because it's a two-handed, two-handing the curved sword is better than one-handing in these games, but man, being proactive like that, Grass Crest Shield on the back, or Ethereal Oak, just going in, comboing, casting with regular moveset with a unique spinning slash, my god. The difference that proactive gaming to reactive gaming makes is a world's difference in terms of satisfaction. And so seeing these proactive elements in this, oh my god, thank you. They understand that being proactive is strong, is good. That actually being able to, like, sure, like, we have reactive elements, we have a parry, we have dodge, we have this. That's important and that's good. But actually having all of these, like, special attacks and openings to do all these certain things, and being able to space out an enemy, expend no resources at all, just space them out, and then come in with a gap closer for huge damage, like what we're doing right here. Very nice.
It creates this push and pull dynamic where you can build up your focus, then you do a cool special, then you have to build it up again, and it creates this really cool dynamic there.
For a mage class, right? Like, we didn't want you to just hang back somewhere and like poof fireballs.
Thank you. Oh, proactive strategies, even with mage. Thank you. 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 One of my favorite rings in Dark Souls 3 is the Aldrich Sapphire. I also really like the Cerulean Assassin's Dagger Talisman in Elden Ring because it really rewards you for taking the grab with whatever weapon you got. Just if you're going half casting or what have you, being able to get that stance break or get that backstab in Dark Souls 3, man, that rewarded you with that nice bit of FP. The thing is, eventually that devolved because a lot of your spells you could just spam out proactively. You could stay back and just, I'm just gonna sling chaos bed vestiges at this boss, and what are they gonna do? They're gonna die. That's what's it's like they're gonna suffer, And that was cool for a while, but actually being able to go in and do some interesting spells at a mid-range cost, but being able to actually do certain moves a certain way and get back your own resource, and having a very strong gameplay loop that keeps you skillful, proactive, satisfied, engaged, that is good game design right there.
Be able to do that infinitely. Like, we wanted to do something where it's like, well, every class always has to be engaged.
All of these ideas
they know what they've already picked up what I put down. They probably put it down years ago. They know what's going on, and I'm hype meters up, y'all.
or less in No Rest for the Wicked's first boss battle. Your first major foe is the grotesque Warwick the Torn, a frantic attacker whose speed defies his enormous size.
The rumor is that he used to be a man, and now he's...
Oh, come on. The rumor is, as if we don't know what you're putting down is some Bloodborne shit right here. Come on, man. You know, we know. We're aware. We played these games. We understand where you're coming from. This is something of immediate recognition to us. It's okay. You don't need to be like, you know, we really thought about it, and we thought that maybe he was just a regular dude originally. He sounds nothing like that, but you know what I mean.
Of this class in this world that we call the Torn, which are basically plague creatures that are affected by this magical plague.
They say...
Magical plague, you say?
I wanted to go after it, but father says...
It's interesting. So, this character is like, I wanted to go after it. So we're getting some characterization here, which is cool, but not too much at the same time.
Says the Torn are not to be trifled with. And he's right.
We want to get your heart rate as high as possible. How am I going to do this? How am I going to beat this? This is relentless. This is impossible. And then little by little, it's like a puzzle that you figure out. Throughout the fight, he is not just relentless, but he also creates distance from you. So he will jump back from you, or he would do the sword attack and he would kind of like go back,
got
which
gap
will
closers.
work really nicely in multiplayer. My favorite part is when he gets
What
angry
was that?
back, which will you. So he will jump back from you, or he would do the sword attack and he would kind of like roll back, which will work really nicely in multiplayer. My
Multiplayer? Oh! Fuck yeah, dude. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
favorite part is when he gets angrier and he gets even more relentless and he starts jumping, and you have to...
Oh yeah, it's that phase 2 stuff. I love how the camera keeps him there even while he's jumping. I'm looking at you, Ludwig the Accursed, even though you're a beautiful boss in your own right. I'm looking at you, Ludwig, from Bloodborne Old Hunters DLC. I'm looking at you. I see you. I see you the way you see your Holy Moonlight Sword, okay? But I need to see you more. I need to see you more with that camera. The camera does not do it justice. And oh my god, the camera moves while the boss jumps.
This really powerful fantasy thing where it's not just a creature that's on the ground, but he also has this crazy mobility, right, to get to you. And I think that's just terrible.
And you can punish that with the fire bombs, which is really nice. Even on an all-physical character. Just chuck a nade up there.
Fine.
Warwick may be terrifying, but the guys at Moon
Look
Studios
at the camera
have some helpful
moving.
advice for when you eventually face down this plagued monstrosity yourself.
I have an amazing tip.
I'm acting like that's some, like, shocking revolutionary thing. Oh my god, the camera's moving. No. I feel like that should have been implemented in Souls a long time ago. Oh well.
You meet Fillmore the blacksmith
Maybe
early
in
on,
the DLC.
and when you talk to him, he will actually sell you some stuff. The scrap bombs that he sells, they're very good.
He doesn't
I
like
could
fire.
see.
He really doesn't like fire, this Warwick guy. Fire is bad for him.
The parry encounter. Very nice.
To see the battle with Warwick in full,
Alright. Oh, these guys got their finger on the fucking pulse, let me tell you. At least that's what it seems like. We'll have to see in the full game release. I'm definitely going to pick it up. I'm definitely going to play it and upload it and talk about it deeply. Because I think that this has immense potential to be a standard bearer in the upcoming Souls-like revolution that we're having. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys some other time. Bye!